Hello and welcome to another lesson of the TI-30XB student course. In this lesson today we're going to be looking at using the random integer command and how we can use this command just in a small probability simulation. Okay, so today's lesson we're going to be looking at the probability menu. So if we go into there, you can see it's just labelled PRB on your calculator. So if we click on there, first thing that comes up is some of our common probability functions. That's things like numbers of combinations or factorials, if you're familiar with those. What we want to use though is this random menu. So we're going to use the arrows to go across at the top, highlight that random button, and then you can see there's two things under this menu. So just quickly, the first one here, that one generates any random number between 0 and 1. So depending on how many decimal places you have currently in your settings, it will generate a big or a small decimal value between 0 and 1. What we want to use, though, we want a random integer, a random whole number. So we're going to use our arrow to go down so that we've got this random int, and you can see there's a little bracket there, and that's to put our parameters in for this command. So we're going to click enter, go into here, and then say we want to generate a random number between 1 and 10. So the smallest number that we want to generate possibly would be a 1. And then we're going to use a comma going second and then the decimal place there just to bring up a comma. And then the biggest number we would want to possibly generate is a 10. So this is going to generate any random number between 1 and 10. So we can close that bracket, press enter, and you can see there that the number generated is a 9. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to copy this command. Just quickly, I just did that just by pressing the up arrow twice. And so now we've got that command highlighted, and I'm going to press enter, and that's going to paste it down into the next line. If I use my arrow to tab back, I'm just going to change this. Instead of between 1 and 10, I'm now going to make this generate a number between 1 and 100. So I'm just going to add in an extra 0, close the bracket again, and press enter, and the number generated there is 53. So this command can be really useful for when you're running like a simple probability simulation. So say for example, one of the most common ones we look at is rolling a die. So if we're going to roll a die, there's 6 possible outcomes that we can have. So we would want to generate a random number between 1 and 6. So again, I'm going to just use my up arrow just to copy that command and bring it down. But instead of having a number out of 100, I'm just going to delete this so that I'm looking at a number between 1 and 6. So this would be me rolling my die and bringing up either a side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So if I press enter, see there, that would be me rolling the number 4. We can just run this a couple of times. So my next number is a 2. And then another one, my next number is a 5. Another really useful thing about this is we can enter this into our data editor and use it to then do some statistical analysis of, which we're going to look at in our in our next lesson. Okay, so if I go into my data, into my list 1 here, I can enter again. If I go probability, cross to random integer. Okay, we'll use that same example of rolling a die. So I'm looking at a number between 1 and 6, enter. Okay, I'm putting that into my list 1, spot 1, and pressing enter. And now that's just going to straight away input that random number for us in there. Okay, and we could keep doing that until we generated the number of rolls of the die that we wanted to look at. Okay, there you go. That's it for this lesson. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next time.